Hi, this is Roy Eduardo Kokoyachuk from Think Now Research. I want to share with you a notable clusterfug. So I want to focus on the merger of AOL and Time Warner. This one's personal to me because at the time I was an employee of Warner Brothers. And in January of 2000, AOL and Time Warner merged. Well, initially in January of 2000, AOL bought Time Warner. Even though they had about a quarter of the cash flow, their stock was worth twice as much as Time Warner's at the time. So in the deal, they got 55% of the company. The problem was that in May of 2000, the dot-com bubble burst and AOL's revenue dried up, and their online access business, which was dial-up at the time, dried up as well because most people switched over to high-speed internet. So their revenue went through the tanked. And then finally, it turned out that AOL had been misstating their advertising revenues to begin with. So the cash flow and the profitability that they said they had when they merged with Time Warner was actually not true. So a couple of things that came to pass. One is my stock, my 401k, I remember the price of Time Warner stock went from about $100 a share to about $20 a share over the course of that year, around by the end of 2000, which was really bad for me personally. But it was much, much worse for the large investors in Time Warner. Ted Turner, for example, lost 80% of his net worth because of that deal. So why did it happen? Well, because at the time, Jerry Levin, the chairman of Time Warner, had met Steve Case from AOL, and they had a personal relationship, and they thought that it was going to be a wonderful thing because AOL would provide the new way to stream and watch content, and Warner Brothers would provide the content. However, this didn't come to pass because they didn't fully think through the deal. It was rushed. None of the top executives were informed of it, so it wasn't vetted properly within the company, and the individuals who had a position to know whether it would work were not informed. It was just made by two very powerful people at the top, and they didn't ask for input from their teams. They were impatient. They wanted to move quickly. Some people feel that Time Warner was taken advantage of by AOL, that AOL knew that they were misstating their financials and that they sort of kind of swindled Time Warner in the deal. Could be, but they were still impatient. They didn't do the due diligence, at least on the Time Warner side, to see whether the deal made sense. And finally, they were incompetent. It is the worst financial merger in the history of the United States. At the time, it was worth $350 billion, and by the end of the year, they had lost more than half of their value. So I just wanted to share that with you in the hopes that when we scale our companies, that we don't suffer from some of the same problems they did. Thank you.